Does that little thing mean we're live?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent. I like to check because I'm never sure.
Can you hear me?
Thumbs up from everybody if you can hear my voice.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you. We are in our work session meeting. There is nothing specifically delineated this evening. Yes, there is. I am wrong immediately. There is a presentation on our comprehensive annual financial report. Christina is with us from Showalter and Jabouri. I don't see, there she is on the screen. And I'm going to make my larger for a second. I got a preview of your report, which was excellent at the Ways and Means Commission meeting that Alderman Allen held last week. But with that, please proceed and present your report to us, if you would, and then we will open it up for brief questions because we've got our other meeting agenda to cover.
Great.
Christina, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina Jaquin. I'm the audit manager for the city's audit from Showalter and Jabouri. We performed an audit of the city's financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2019. On page 1 of the comprehensive annual financial report, known as the CAFR, you will find our independent auditor's report on the city's financial statements. In this report, we give our opinions on the financial statements. And in our opinion, the financial statements for 2019 are fairly presented in all material respects in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. Significant events that occur after the city's year end, but before financial statements are issued, are known as subsequent events, and professional standards require them to be disclosed in financial statements. Due to the significant local, national, and global impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have included an emphasis of matter paragraph, which refers readers to footnote 12 of the CAFR, which discusses the pandemic. The inclusion of this matter does not change our opinion in any way. With regard to the December 31st, 2019 financial highlights, the city ended the year with a total governmental fund balance of approximately $12 million. And of that amount, approximately $8 million was unassigned. The total net position of the city on a government-wide basis at December 31st, 2019 was approximately $51 million. And of that amount, unrestricted net position at year end was approximately $6 million. In addition to the financial statements, we have also issued a report on internal control related matters and advisory comments, where we give suggestions for strengthening internal control and operating efficiency. We have also issued a report titled Reports to the Board of Aldermen. These are required communications by an auditor to those charged with governance at the conclusion of an audit. Finally, I would like to thank Mr. Shelton, Ms. Wright, and all of their staff for the many courtesies extended to us during our audit. And at this time, I would be happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Christina, and well presented. We appreciate your work on behalf of the city and your presentation this evening. Brief questions or comments of our auditor. Alderman Whitmire.
So the most material finding that I think you stated was the internal controls surrounding certain payroll processes and other check disbursements. And I know that our team has replied to that, but I couldn't see, maybe I missed it, where you replied to their reply. Did you find their reply acceptable?
We did. So the management has submitted a corrective action plan.
Okay.
Their plans to address those findings, and we've discussed it with the members of the Ways and Means Commission as well as management. And it's our understanding that, you know, what they have in place is a good plan. And I think if we can get it in place, that should remediate the comment going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Thank you for the response. Further inquiry. Seeing none. Christina, thank you very much again. We appreciate the good work of your firm and for being with us this evening. The next
Absolutely.
item on our work session agenda involves our regular meeting agenda. The minutes from our meeting, and first let me say welcome Alderman Weezahan to the board. It's good to finally have you here, and I'll be making further welcoming remarks when we're under the formal meeting. The minutes have been distributed from our meeting of June 8th. I understand Alderman Weezahan will be recusing himself from that, which I respect. He communicated that to me today, and I understand Alderman Hughes has an amendment that she'd like to offer regarding her inability to participate for technical difficulties. I'll recognize that amendment. Further discussion regarding the minutes.
I would like to make an amendment that basically indicates that I was unable to attend the last work session due to technical difficulties.
Right. Thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate you communicating that, and I'll recognize you for that purpose at the time the minutes are taken up. Our clerk will certify the June 2nd election results. We don't have any hearing from citizens information, which we will mention on the record this evening. We do have 2 public hearings this evening. Everybody ready to proceed on both of those? They involve accessory structures and the issuance of a conditional use permit. Are we ready to go, Alderman Fauci?
We are. Those both received unanimous support from Planning and Zoning.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions, comments, or concerns regarding proceeding with the public hearings? We'll take those items up as they sit on our agenda. I'll be making some comments regarding the appointments, and recognizing then Mr. Shelton will be making a report this evening regarding his distribution of updated financials, and Chief Cavens will be recognized to address a new officer hiring. We're on unfinished business. It is the plan that was crafted by our city clerk along with support from council is to present an affirmation of the June 8th meeting as a result of the technical difficulties. That meeting, as you know, everyone on the board was able to participate. It was the meeting was posted following the meeting on our website, but people weren't able to simultaneously access it through YouTube, and that problem has been corrected this evening. But we'll go through those items, and I'll entertain a motion to accept them all. It'll be seconded discussion and voted upon. Fritz or Alderman Weezahan will recuse himself from that item as well. Everybody okay with that process? Thank you. Under new business, I've got Bill 20-626, and it's the CUP in Ward 1. Alderman Holman and Hughes, would you like to sponsor that legislation? I see a thumbs up from Alderman Holman. Thank you, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd also like to be on there, Mayor.
Okay, we'll recognize you. We've got a similar CUP, not a similar, but we have a CUP in Ward 2 involving an accessory structure. Alderman, where'd you go? Weezahan and Fauci, would you like to sponsor that legislation?
Yes, please.
Alderman, thank you. We have our regular our annual approval of the liquor licenses. The information's been distributed for many, many years now. I don't know of a time that we didn't, other than when somebody wasn't completely compliant. We just didn't consider them at the same time, but I'll entertain a motion in so-called en masse to approve those. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the liquor licenses and what those licenses pertain to.
I have a quick question, Mayor.
Please proceed.
I noticed on here, as we seem to have every year, somebody who isn't complete with their application. So for the St. Louis Marriott West, it says that they've completed everything with the exception of our police investigation. And I'm curious as to why that hasn't been completed.
Ms. Wrights, do you want to speak to that, or is that you, Chief?
Please, I can speak to that. It has now been completed. We received that, the completion from the lieutenant who handles those today. And the reason that it was just slow in coming had nothing to do with our police department. It was Marriott West turned in their application late. So the
Okay.
lieutenant got it done very quickly.
That I would totally believe. So that means they're complete with everything with the exception of a couple that are waiting on things from the state?
That's correct.
And because they delayed the issuance of their liquor licenses, there's nothing we can do about that. Is that true?
That's true. They hadn't submitted it to the state because the state doesn't, well, they delayed it for 2 months.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Alderman Holman.
Yeah, I was just curious to know, is there any business that did not come back to the table and look to review their license, meaning that they're not going forward with their business?
We have 2 businesses that have not yet submitted their liquor license, but I expect that they will. Minio's is working on theirs. They didn't have anything into me, so I couldn't even really put it on as kind of a, tentative. So I will bring that to you when they do submit it. And I've also been in contact and working with Sweetology. They will probably come back at a later date with a liquor license, but they wanted to see how, if they could get their business back up and running well before they started trying to serve alcohol again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good inquiry. I'll entertain a motion to approve those as provided on the addendum to your materials. Our warrant list in the amount of $308,548.26 has been distributed to you. How does it look, Alderman Allen? Thank you. Questions, comments, or concerns regarding the warrant list? Alderman Whitmire.
The Essex Point payment for $106,000, was that a project that was underway that we couldn't stop?
Mr. Shelton, is that you or is that Mr. Gregowitz?
Yes, that's me. That project was an early project that was underway and has been going on. So you're correct, it was.
Okay, thank you.
Fair inquiry. Further discussion. Alderman Holman.
I have a question with regard to the Summerhill invoice. This project has been started in 2019, I believe, and I'm just curious, what's the anticipated end date? We had an invoice on here for $14.8 thousand. I'm making the assumption we're getting close to completion here.
Yes, that was work that was done before we had the shutdown. That was February work. So they were just submitting that bill. But that's, we're pretty much holding off until we can get some better numbers here with the budget.
So I'm sorry, so this project is still in progress? Is that what you're saying?
It was in progress all the way up until February, but we're slowing it down here until we can get some better budget numbers.
Okay.
Thank you. Alderman Moreland.
Alderman Holman, there was multiple projects in Summerhill. So this is, there's been multiple, and this is the last one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We are at 7:01, so please disconnect and reconnect in the regular meeting, on the regular meeting link, and we'll talk to you in a moment or so.